Welcome, rising souls. In a world that screams for your constant attention, have you ever wondered what truly drains your vital energy and leaves you hollow? Is it the sheer volume of tasks left undone, or is it the heavy burdens of societal expectations that you simply refuse to set down today? Today, we are not here to learn the art of adding more to our lives, but rather the essential craft of pruning away the truly unnecessary. Join me as we explore three powerful paradoxes that will reset your ego and help you find strength where you once thought there was only weakness. Release your grip on the past and the future. To truly grow, one must first learn to let go of the weights that anchor the spirit. The path to invincibility does not require more armor, but less. It requires a heart that is light enough to soar above the chaotic storms. Prepare your mind for a deep shift in perspective. These ancient truths have been hidden in plain sight, waiting for those brave enough to listen. Listen to the silence between the noise. In that space, you will find the answers that the world is too loud to hear or understand. One small shift in your perception can ripple through your entire life, changing how you respond to every challenge and every single moment of pain. Leave behind the things that no longer serve your growth. The journey ahead requires a soul that is unburdened and ready for a new transformation. This is the moment of your rebirth. We begin with the first paradox of power, the surprising strength found in the act of letting go. The first paradox states, you only truly possess power when you stop trying to control the final outcome and focus purely on the present action. When you release the obsession with winning, your mind becomes clear. You are no longer paralyzed by the fear of failing or losing your status. Imagine a circle around you. Inside are your thoughts and actions. Outside is everything else. Most people waste their lives fighting things outside their circle. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminded us that we should only concern ourselves with what is within our control. Everything else is merely a distraction. True mastery is maintaining your internal peace, while the external world remains in a state of constant chaos and unpredictable, overwhelming change or difficulty. The water falls, the wind blows, and the world turns. You remain unmoved, centered in the knowledge that your character is your only true possession. When you stop forced control, you gain a different kind of influence. You become like water, flowing around obstacles instead of crashing against them fruitlessly. The ego wants to dominate every move. The soul knows that the best move is often to let the board settle itself without your interference. Consider the bird. It does not struggle against the air. It uses the wind to lift itself higher. This is the essence of letting go. Are you ready to stop fighting the wind? Leave a comment saying, "My mind, my power," if you are prepared to focus on your internal growth. The path of the rising soul is one of detachment. We do not detach from life, but from the anxiety of how life should look. Protect your inner spark. It is the only thing that cannot be taken from you by force, tragedy, or the cruel hands of fate and time. Pruning is painful, but necessary for beauty. By letting go of lesser desires, you make room for your greatest purpose to finally take deep root. When you are no longer agitated by the need for results, your spirit settles into a state of natural sweetness and profound, unshakable inner clarity. The higher you climb, the less you can carry. What are you holding on to out of habit that is actually slowing your ascent to the peak? Silence the applause in your head. You do not need the validation of a crowd to know that your actions are virtuous and your heart is true. Let go of the distractions. When you stop chasing every shiny object, your internal compass will finally align with the path you were meant to follow. Be like the leaf on the stream. It does not worry about the destination. It trusts the river to carry it exactly where it needs to be. Trust the universe. When you let go of your small plans, you allow the larger, more magnificent design of your life to unfold with grace. Paradox 2. The strongest person in the room is not the one who shouts the loudest, but the one who can remain silent the longest. Think of the stone. The ocean may roar and strike it with fury, but the stone does not argue. It simply exists, solid and completely unbothered. Silence is a weapon of the wise. It gives you the power to observe, to analyze, and to choose your response rather than reacting on impulse. When someone attacks you with words, they are offering you a gift of anger. If you remain silent and calm, that gift remains with them. In art, negative space defines the subject. In life, your negative space, your silence and non-reaction, defines your character and your ultimate level of self-mastery. The power of non-reaction is the ultimate armor. It makes you untouchable because your peace of mind is no longer dependent on others' behavior. Breathe into the tension. Each slow breath is a declaration of your independence from the emotional storms that try to pull you into the abyss. Silence allows you to hear the truth. When you stop the internal chatter of defense and ego, the path forward becomes visible and incredibly clear. Your energy is precious. Do not waste it on arguments that do not matter or on people who only want to steal your calm light. Be the lighthouse, not the storm. Your job is to shine steadily, regardless of how many waves crash against the shore or how dark it gets. Wisdom requires the courage to be still. It takes a hero to keep their sword sheathed when the world is goading them into a fight. In the silence of the night, ask yourself, who am I when no one is watching? Your answer is the foundation of your true power. Allow your mind to settle. Like muddy water, it will become clear only if you have the patience to leave it alone and be still. Every moment of restraint is a victory for the soul. You are building a temple of peace within yourself that no external force can destroy. Commit to your inner equilibrium. Type, "I choose balance," in the comments to anchor this intention into your heart and your daily actions today. Find your center. Life will pull you in many directions, but your strength lies in your ability to return to your core of absolute stillness. True authority is quiet. It does not need to prove itself through noise or aggression. It is felt in the gravity of your composed presence. Look within. The world you see outside is a reflection of the world you carry inside. If you find peace within, you find it everywhere. We rise by letting go of the need to be right. We win by refusing to play the games of the ego and the small mind. The third paradox. To become truly invincible, you must accept your own vulnerability and realize that your cracks are where the light enters your soul. Your scars are not signs of weakness, but symbols of a history of survival. They represent a strength that has been tested and tempered by fire. Softness is the ultimate strength. The hard rock eventually crumbles, but the flexible sprout finds a way to grow and thrive in the harshest conditions. When you stop building walls to protect your heart, you become like water. Nothing can break water because it has no rigid form to shatter. There is a power in being delicate. True courage is the ability to show your true self to the world, even when you feel most exposed. Stop pretending to be bulletproof. The more you try to appear strong to others, the more energy you drain from your own authentic and powerful self. What are you hiding behind your mask of perfection? True connection only happens when we are brave enough to let our real, imperfect selves be seen. Accepting your vulnerability is like grounding yourself. It allows the shocks of life to pass through you without destroying your core or your spirit. Be kind to the parts of you that are hurting. Resistance only creates more pain. Acceptance is the first step toward a true and lasting invincibility. Your fragility is a vessel for grace. When you are empty of pride and ego, you become a conduit for something much greater than yourself. The willow survives the storm because it knows how to bow. Learn to yield to the forces you cannot change, and you will never break. Your greatest difficulties are the seeds of your greatest strengths. Do not resent the struggle. It is the process of making your soul beautiful. Gentleness is not a sign of weakness. It is the signature of a soul that is so strong, it no longer needs to use force. Let life smooth your rough edges. Your vulnerability is the gateway to empathy, and empathy is the foundation of all true human power and leadership. Who are you without your titles and your armor? Stripping away the false layers reveals the indestructible diamond that has always been hidden within you. Surrender to the truth of your humanity. In that surrender, you find a freedom that no king or conqueror could ever truly buy or own. Now, as we merge these lessons, feel the weight lifting from your shoulders. You are becoming a rising soul, ready to face any destiny with peace. The journey of letting go is not about losing parts of yourself. It is about stripping away the dust to find the light that was there. You have the power to redefine your reality. By choosing to let go, you choose to be free from the chains of your own ego's making. Carry these paradoxes with you. When you feel overwhelmed, remember, release control, seek silence, and embrace your vulnerability as your most trusted and powerful armor. The world needs your light, rising soul. Not the light of your achievements, but the steady, calm glow of your true and authentic inner essence. Rise above the noise. The view from the top is only accessible to those who are willing to leave the heavy weights of the valley far behind. Choose one paradox today and practice it. Notice how your world changes when you stop fighting and start flowing with the natural rhythm of your life. Thank you for joining this journey. May you find the peace that surpasses understanding and the strength that comes from a quiet and focused heart. Be invincible. Be a rising soul. Subscribe to continue your transformation and join our community of seekers on the path to true and lasting wisdom. I will see you at the peak of silence. Until then, keep pruning the unnecessary and let your true magnificent self shine for all to see.